Over the weekend, the Prime Minister of Spain, he insisted that his country will reopen in July to tourists. And he's saying, look, come on, we're open for business. Start planning your holidays.
Yeah, but the Foreign Office are still banning all but essential travel. So we've got Simon Calder to explain what this means for us for holidays. Good morning, Simon. Lovely to see you.
Good morning.
We were talking about this last week. Obviously, a lot of places were saying, well, we might have these air bridges, you might be able to go, but you'll have to quarantine for 2 weeks when you come home. So what's the situation now?
OK, what we know for a fact, because it was announced on Friday night, is that everybody arriving in the UK almost will need to quarantine from the 8th of June onwards. So obviously people who do not wish to be quarantined, who are abroad at the moment, they just need to get back by midnight on the 7th of June.
But there are exceptions, aren't there, to that rule?
Oh, there's many exceptions, yes. So obviously sort of transport workers, seasonal agricultural workers, people working in the medical professions who need to help us with the coronavirus outbreak. And indeed, anybody coming in from the common travel area, as you know, that's the Republic of Ireland, the Channel Islands and the Isle of Man. And that's created the so-called Dublin Dodge, where all you need to do, actually, if you don't fancy quarantine, is fly to Dublin Airport, put a foot on Irish soil, and then fly straight to whichever UK airport you want. I am not condoning this. It would increase greatly the risk to everybody else you would encounter along the way. But I'm afraid that loophole is sitting right in the middle of the quarantine rules. However, for the vast majority of people booked to travel in June, this effectively means their trip is off, because the vast majority of people will not be able to sit at home in really quite draconian conditions with, in a room on your own, not really supposed to mix with any family or friends, not going out at all. People won't want to do that. And so effectively, June has been written off. We got confirmation of that from the second biggest tour operator, Jet2, on Friday, and TUI, the biggest holiday company, is currently considering its position.
What about July, then?
Well, now, that's a really good question, Ruth, because, as you mentioned, the Spanish Prime Minister is saying, right, we're starting up in July, over you come. And pretty much every other popular destination is saying, yeah, we're going to have a kind of soft opening in June with some particular favourite nationalities. That's the view of Cyprus and Malta. Unfortunately, Britain isn't among them during June. And then pretty much everybody's going to be ready by July. But of course, nobody knows how long the quarantine is going to last. It's going to be at least 3 weeks, which takes us to the 29th of June, at which point it is widely thought that some of these so-called air bridge schemes will have been introduced. The idea is that countries with similar levels of infection to the UK say, oh, it's all right, you come over here, we won't quarantine you, and you don't quarantine us when we come to Britain. Now, the trouble is, obviously, that Britain's infection rate is much worse than most of Europe. For example, it's twice as bad as France and Ireland, worse than Italy, worse than Spain. And so actually we won't have that many friends, but it's some way of both being able, from the government's point of view, to impose a quarantine, which they think will be very popular with the voters, and at the same time allow people to have some holidays.
How will they implement it? You know, you can say it's there in place, and if you fly in, if you've been away and you come back, you have to self-quarantine, self-isolate rather, for 2 weeks. How are they going to check that people are doing that?
Well, there's a couple of things that they plan to do. So everybody coming to the UK from June the 8th will need to fill in an online locator contact form. I've been asking to see exactly what this is, and I haven't got any details yet, but Ireland already has one, and it takes all your details, address, where you'll be, phone numbers and so on. Then they will phone you up. Now, the thing is, most of us are going to give a mobile phone number, and guess what? The clue is in the name. If they say, oh, Simon, are you at home in London? I might say yes, but I might actually be somewhere like, I don't know, Durham. But they can come round, knock on your door any time of the day or night and say, are you there, Eamonn? And if you're not there, then you get £1,000 fine. However, what will make it a lot easier is that effectively the entire travel industry expects almost all arrivals to the UK to dry up, because frankly, anybody who's keen to get here will get here by the 7th of June. And after that, people won't be interested in getting here for as long as quarantine prevails. Bit of a muddle.
Yeah, Simon, you mentioned the entire travel industry, and it's just Armageddon. It really is. If you looked in, I mean, being the seasoned pro that you are, the seasoned traveller that you are, if you were to look into your crystal ball as to what our inclinations would be, whether we feel we would travel to Europe or further, or whether we will staycation this summer, or for a lot of people just get back to work and be glad to be back to work, what would you say?
There's a very large minority who, like me, are absolutely desperate to get away. But there is most definitely, I would say slightly more than half the country is saying, look, we don't know what's going to happen. They've got a range of perfectly reasonable anxieties from, well, not really sure I want to go through an airport with all those people, to what happens if I'm abroad and I contract coronavirus, or I'm in hospital there, or they have another lockdown while I'm in Spain. So many anxieties. Older people, of course, those with health conditions will perhaps not want to travel. But there will be a good, I would say, 10, 15 million of us who will be wanting to go abroad this summer. And that's why the travel industry is so aghast at the quarantine rules, because they just say, well, this is effectively, we've just had the worst 2 months we've ever had. And this is going to mean that, well, certainly we write off June, quite possibly July. And guess how many new bookings are coming in for the summer? Exactly 0.
OK, Simon, thank you very much indeed for your take, however downcast that may appear. But we talked about travelling abroad there, and we talked about staying at home. So these staycations this summer, British campsites and holiday parks have, unsurprisingly, seen a surge in interest. We're talking about like a 60% increase in bookings compared to last year, and I think that will only become stronger.
Yeah, well, it will be good. It will be good for the tourism industry here. Josie Gibson is at a holiday park in Somerset, which is hoping to start welcoming visitors in July. Morning, Josie. Beautiful day, beautiful view. Tell us about this resort.
Good morning, Eamonn. Good morning, Ruth. It is absolutely gorgeous. I can't actually believe I'm in the UK. I'm in Holiday Resort Unity, Brean Sands, Burnham-on-Sea, and just look at that Somerset coastline. That's the longest coastline in Europe, believe it or not, and it is just absolutely stunning. And with views like that, no wonder the inquiries for campsites have gone up 60%. Now, this resort has so much to offer, like one of these luxury lodges here. Look, let me show you. Absolutely perfect to bring the family. So, come on in. Me and the cameraman are still trying to socially distance. Well, we are socially distancing. So back here, you've got a double bedroom, very luxurious, ensuite. Right here in this room here, you've got two beds that could sleep the children. You can make lovely meals here in your own luxury lodge to eat in your own. How cute is this? Perfect front living room, dining room, but you're going to have to go round the other way, Sam. I'm just sending our cameraman, Sam, round the other way so we can still socially distance. You can eat your meal out here on the decking, and this is the Western Sunset Luxury Lodge. The best bit is the hot tub. So the sunset's over there. You could be enjoying a nice glass of wine in the hot tub while enjoying the sunset, looking at that gorgeous view over there. Now, this is a family-run business, and we're joined by owner Alan. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
I'll tell you what, Alan, this show gets more like the Gladiators than this morning. Oh, God. Right, I'm with you. Alan, when are you looking to open?
Well, subject to government restrictions, it's looking like early July.
Early July?
That's fingers crossed.
And what things have you got in place that's going to keep all your customers completely safe?
Well, apart from the usual extra cleaning and things like that, contactless check-in and departure, the holiday park scene sets socially distanced naturally. So all of our units are 5 or 6 metres apart, so people can stay apart. They're self-contained units.
And what sort of accommodation have you got here? Because you've not just got the campsite, you've got private accommodation as well.
Yeah, we've got everything from camping pods to luxury caravans to lodges. And we've also got people that own their own holiday home. They've got the keys to their own door.
Yeah.
And they're ready and waiting to come back as soon as they can.
Oh, so they're dying to get back to their second home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's their own private residence, so they're dying to get back.
And I don't blame them. With views like this on a day like this, it must be devastating. What sort of effect has it had on you, your business and your family? Because it's a family-run business, isn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously been horrendous. The priority was to sort out our fantastic team. We put lots of those on furlough. Then juggling family life, we've got 2 children at home, homeschooling those, that's been a challenge.
Oh, you've been homeschooling.
Well, the wife has. And then obviously I've been mucking in, so I've been cutting the grass and things like that because we've got such a small team, we've got no income coming to the business.
Right, OK. So what facilities will be open when you are open, hopefully on the 4th or after the 4th of July?
We'll be led by whatever the government say, but at the moment, obviously, it's outdoor things such as fishing and golf, and then you've got the wonderful seaside on your doorstep and the countryside on the other side, so come and enjoy some fresh air.
So, and it's perfect, and all those things are socially distanced anyway, aren't they?
Absolutely, and it's already in place. Every piece of accommodation can be separately accessed.
Yeah.
People can just turn up, help themselves and keep themselves to themselves, so yeah, very safe.
And can they get food then? What's going to go on there?
Yeah, so obviously we can't open our bars and restaurants, but we can do takeaway, so we'll be offering a selection of takeaway food that people can then take back to their accommodation.
OK, and will you be opening up the camping bit?
Just the touring caravans and motorhomes initially, so they can be self-contained. We're waiting for further guidance on communal shower blocks and things like that.
Right, well, you don't realise what's actually on your doorstep. The United Kingdom as a whole, I think, is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and we are so lucky that we get to live here and we get to experience holidaying here. I staycation all the time. I cannot confirm how beautiful this is here today. You've just got to be here. So staycationing all the way from me. Back to you, Eamonn and Ruth.
Especially when the sun
She'll be in
shines.
that hot tub in a minute.
That's it, Josie. I'm just dreaming of being in that hot tub.
I will.
You and me, yeah, in there. Look
Doing
at that. What? That's very nice.